Is everybody coming together and saying, oh, we're going to watch a freak show. This is what this is. We know what this is. It is absolutely mental, what we're going to watch here.
That's different than because he views Jake Paul as a decent boxer. This is not the first time that someone has come out and said this. We've heard Terrence Bud Crawford come out and say that because of the size difference, Tank won't be able to hurt Jake Paul, and that Jake Paul could probably knock him out with one punch.
Floyd Mayweather reportedly stormed the stage during the press conference for the upcoming Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Tank Davis fight, confronting Jake directly. The event quickly escalated as both...
Just showing up. Honestly, yeah, just... I'm gonna knock him out. You know, he has a lot of flaws in his defense, and I'm gonna expose him. You know, look what a 135 Lamont Roach did to him, and it's just gonna be so much fun for me. I'm so glad that God gave me this moment. I'm Gervonta Tank Davis.
Many critics have dismissed the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis matchup as unnecessary, more spectacle than sport. However, not everyone shares that opinion. MMA journalist Ariel Helwani offered a contrasting perspective, noting that fans in mixed martial arts often celebrate crossover or experimental bouts, finding them exciting and entertaining. Yet, when similar events appear in boxing, audiences tend to reject them as meaningless. Helwani argued that this reaction reveals a double standard between the two combat sports. While the fight may not represent traditional boxing values, he believes it still holds strong entertainment.
I'm sure it'll be a little bit closer, maybe 200 to 150. Like how much bigger can Tank get? Why would that be somewhat celebrated in MMA, but in boxing it isn't? Do you know what I mean, Pizzi? In MMA, like we sort of love the freak shows, but in boxing they don't. Why do you think that is? What does that say about us in MMA?
Well, we're a sick bunch of fucks. There's no doubt about that. But I will say,
you agree,
like,
right or no?
Yeah. Like the idea of the MMA freak show is everybody coming together and saying, oh, we're going to watch a freak show. This is what this is. We know what this is. It is absolutely mental, what we're going to watch here. I think where people get annoyed with Jake is like, you know, he even got me. You know what I mean? This guy is the greatest outrage farmer of all time. I saw his tweet and I was like, reading it, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, this is exactly what he fucking wants me to do. You know, like this is every time I'm doing this, he's in the game of getting eyeballs, and this is ridiculous. As long as, like, you know, why do I like an MMA freak show? Why would I watch Eddie Hall in an MMA fight against Dylan Dennis? I'd be like, this is fucking ridiculous, and I have to watch it. That's the way I feel about Jake Paul and Davis. I will watch it. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's all of us getting together to go to the circus for the evening. I think the reason why there's pushback against it when Jake does it is because Jake, and obviously tactfully, is going like, what are you talking about? This guy's a world champion. I took out Mike Tyson. He's a world champion. And then I'm going to take out Canelo and stuff like this. Like he's winding us up. He's not agreeing to the stipulation that we're all agreeing on, which is this is a freak show. This is absolutely mental. As long as we can agree with that, we can all enjoy it collectively.
But do you not think he does agree to that? Do you not think he knows what this is?
No, I do.
Floyd Mayweather also shared his thoughts on the fight, acknowledging that the Paul brothers are doing things people might not fully understand and suggesting they should be free to pursue their ventures. However, Mayweather emphasized that Jake Paul's skills remain largely untested, as he has yet to face a true elite-level boxer, someone who embodies the discipline.
Like I said before, they know what they're doing. Both brothers. Logan as well as Jake, they know what they're doing, so they're doing...
The upcoming Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul matchup has divided fans and analysts alike. To many, the fight feels out of place, a contest that doesn't align with the spirit of professional boxing. Longtime followers of Davis's career see the bout as a step backward for a fighter celebrated for his explosive knockouts and relentless drive. The criticism isn't just about Jake Paul's YouTube background. It's about whether a world-class talent like Davis should even entertain such an exhibition.
People think that Tank ain't gonna knock out Jake Paul. Like, bruh, I'm gonna tell you exactly how it's gonna go. Jake Paul will go in that ring thinking he has the upper hand, he has the reach, he has the weight, and he gonna go in there confident. Yeah, he might stun Tank a little bit, but I'm gonna tell you, he gonna underestimate Tank. That's exactly what's about to happen. He's gonna underestimate him and his size, and he gonna get crushed. I think this right here is what's gonna end Jake Paul's boxing career. I think that Jake Paul, when you sit here and think about it, the people he fought, I'm not saying they wasn't real fighters, but they just not no Tank Davis. Buddy, I'm telling you, I don't think this is scripted. I think, yes, this is for money, but I think it's like, hey, at your own cost, go in that ring. Y'all know the weight difference. What's going to happen is what's going to happen at the end of the day. I think Tank really go, hey, drop him. He ain't going to understand. Jake Paul ain't understand how, but he's about to see it. And on some real stuff, I think Tank setting Jake Paul up. I remember when Jake Paul went up against Tyson, he said, you need to fight me. Like, I want to get in the ring with Jake Paul. He disrespected the boxing world by getting in the ring with Tyson and embarrassing him. And, you know, Tank really messed with Tyson. I think he setting him up, bro. Mark my words. I think he like, yeah, come in the ring, boy. We gonna do a friendly, you know what I'm saying? You know, a match or whatever. We gonna get this money. He about to embarrass him November 14th. Just because Jake Paul think the boxing world's sweet. He think it's sweet. He think they about to keep taking it easy on him with these fights. All right, I bet you. How much I want to bet? Tank is setting him up. He's gonna literally do him so bad. Just to make an example.
Fight has also sparked unexpected drama outside the ring. One of the more surprising moments involved Shakur Stevenson, who was criticized by fans after reports emerged that he sparred with Jake Paul. Many accused him of supporting an event they already disapproved of. Shakur, however, responded calmly, saying he wasn't bothered by the negativity and instead used it as motivation. His maturity stood out amid the chaos. Still, the fact that even unrelated boxers are being pulled into the controversy shows how polarizing this matchup has become, with a focus.
When Turkey was doing all that, like, I don't want no boring Tom and Jerry fights, he came out with a Tom and Jerry hat. And then he fought in a style that is not sustainable for him. And it's not, again, for me, it's not sustainable because fighting like that, if you do that with the wrong one, you'll lose. If you fight how you fight, okay, it's going to be harder to win. But you're putting your own self on the chopping block, trying to appease the crowd or not be Tom and Jerry. It's not sustainable. And even in the Zepeda fight, he got rocked back with a jab and fell into the ropes like that. So you could say I wasn't hurt and all that, but it's still a bad look. It's a bad look. People always talk about Tank, the knee, hair grease thing, but what about Shakur getting rocked into the ropes from a Zepeda jab? Even if you were off balance, you're supposed to be light years ahead of Zepeda skillfully. So to me, that still looks really bad. Like, I've watched 50 fights from Floyd Mayweather, and he's fighting way better than Zepeda level. And Canelo and these guys, they're not punching him into the ropes and he's staggering back. The optics of it look bad. So back to it, Shakur, I feel like he's trying so hard to look unbothered, but he always replies to it so you could tell he's bothered. He's like, man, I got him so mad at me. And I personally, I don't prefer that when people do that. Like, for example, Shakur's like, man, I got him tuned in and thanks for the support. Bro, they're not really supporting you. They're all the comments underneath you saying whatever you said about I get to pick Jake Paul's brain and work with him and all that. Most of them were negative. So you're trying to, like, it's so weird because it reminds me of when I've seen people like celebrities or whatever who they have
Other boxing stars, including Devin Haney and Terence Crawford, have also weighed in. They believe that no matter how talented Gervonta Davis is, facing someone like Jake Paul carries unnecessary risk due to the significant size and weight difference. Jake is naturally heavier and taller, which could make the physical aspect of the fight more challenging, even if Davis's technical skills are vastly superior. Haney and Crawford both argued that matchups like this blur the line between sport and entertainment, reflecting the concern of traditional.
Because he views Jake Paul as a decent boxer. This is not the first time that someone has come out and said this. We've heard Terrence Bud Crawford come out and say that because of the size difference, Tank won't be able to hurt Jake Paul, and that Jake Paul could probably knock him out with one punch. We've seen Shakur Stevenson's words say that this is a clown show, that this is a disgrace to boxing, that it's something that he doesn't want to be a part of, but then do everything he can to be a part of it by turning from 2-division, 3-division world champion, former unified champion, and turning himself from that into a damn sparring partner for Jake Paul. So people's words, people's actions are showing that they really, really deep down like this fight. and now you can add Devin the Dream Haney to the list of fighters. And I just find it funny because here's the thing, I disagree with him. I am only interested in this fight because number one, I'm a diehard Gervonta Tank Davis fan, and number two, I don't really like Jake Paul at all. So I would like to see Tank Davis knock his block off. But as far as a competitive standpoint, as far as thinking it's a good fight, as far as loving the fight, nah, bro, I think it's a trash-ass fight. I think Tank Davis is way too good, way too skilled, way too talented to even allow Jake Paul to share the ring with him. That is my opinion. And so as a result, my pick of the fight or my overview and analysis of the fight is the same. If it's a real fight, if this is something that Tank Davis is taking serious, Jake Paul is going to get in that bitch.
7. Former world champion Keith Thurman offered a more balanced take. He pointed out that many of the same fans criticizing Gervonta Davis are also the ones who never miss his fights. Thurman argued that controversy actually fuels Davis's popularity, keeping him at the center of attention and proving his influence in boxing. According to him, even negative publicity helps, because people will still tune in to see what happens. For Thurman, that's the mark of a true star, someone whose fights draw attention regardless of public opinion.
You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're going to want to tune in to the Tank and Paul show there, you know, because that's all for entertainment. What is it? For entertainment purposes only, right? It's just say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion. For entertainment, don't do this at home, kids. You know, so fine.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. For entertainment purposes only, you know. So you know, it's money making purposes only, you know.
Throughout his career, Gervonta Davis has consistently expressed his respect for boxing's traditions and his desire to build a lasting legacy through meaningful fights. His record of facing tough opponents and securing impressive victories has cemented his status as one of the best in the lightweight division. That's why many fans feel confused by his decision to fight Jake Paul, a man better known for internet fame than ring mastery. To them, this matchup doesn't align with Davis's legacy or skill level. Yet, Davis himself appears unfazed by the criticism. He seems focused on his own path, suggesting that this fight might serve a personal or financial purpose rather than a legacy-driven one.
Of course, he's going to make these stupid spectacle matchups. He doesn't care about his career, his legacy, or the sport. Meanwhile, we have Tank Davis, the heir apparent to Floyd Mayweather and Adrian Broner, who has real talent. And if he was actually consistent in the ring and was willing to get in with some of the best fighters in the world, he could be top 3 pound for pound best fighters in the sport. But instead, Tank just wants to hold up his division for 5 years and make a mockery of the sport, especially with this fight. I know Tank Davis multiple times has said he only cares about the money and just wants to make $100 million and go retire off an island somewhere, but that's bad for the sport, especially coming from one of our sport's biggest superstars. Look at guys like Naoya Inoue, Alexander Usyk, Terrence Crawford. Those guys are real fighters, okay? They challenge themselves against the best fighters in the world. And money comes their way too from it. Don't get it twisted. What's crazy is Tank would make just as much money if he fought Shakur, Devin Haney, even Teofimo Lopez. The biggest tragedy of all is the fact that Lamont Roach isn't getting his rematch. He got robbed in that fight with a knockdown. He definitely would have won the split decision, and he would have got his Buster Douglas moment, but he didn't, and now he can't even get a rematch because Tank is going to do this, and now Lamont Roach has to fight Pitbull Cruz instead. I used to be such a big Tank Davis fan, but over the last year and a half that I've had this channel, the amount of BS that I've had to report on Tank Davis just like this completely turned me off as a fan of Tank Davis. Jake Paul can do his thing with the influencers, with the MMA fighters, but with boxers,